Have you ever watched someone clumsily try to fix an appliance, type out an email, or handle a minor crisis, and your body gets so restless that you just blurt out, "Never mind, let me just do it"? On the surface, people might call you a control freak. They might say you have trust issues, that you are stubborn, or that you just like to show off how capable you are. They see someone who refuses to sit still and let others help. But what if this behavior has absolutely nothing to do with wanting power? What if taking over isn't about controlling the outcome, but about controlling your own anxiety? Today, we are going to look closer at a habit that makes you look strong on the outside, but leaves you entirely drained on the inside. Let us look at that immediate reflex you have to step in and take over. You are standing next to a coworker who is slowly typing a response. You watch them delete, retype, and stare at the screen. Or maybe you are watching a partner try to assemble a piece of furniture and they are holding the wrong screw. Your shoulders tense up. Your breathing gets a little shallower. Your hand almost involuntarily reaches out to take the tools away from them. Society tells you that you are arrogant, that you think you are better than everyone else. But inside, you aren't judging their skills. You are terrified of the waiting period. The process of watching someone make a mistake, try again, and struggle creates an invisible pressure that crushes your nervous system. Your brain cannot tell the difference between a small risk, like a poorly written email, and a massive threat to your survival. The alarm bells ring, telling you that if you do not handle this yourself right now, everything is going to collapse into chaos. Before you even say the words, "Let me do it," does your throat tighten up with impatience? You do not snatch the work away because you love working. You take it to free yourself from the suffocating feeling of not being in control of a highly uncertain situation. It is a psychological mechanism known as an intolerance of ambiguity. Your nervous system simply cannot sit in the uncomfortable space of not knowing how things will turn out. So, you fix it to end the suspense. And what happens when you are finally forced to delegate? Let us say you finally let someone else take care of dinner or handle a major project at work. You sit down on the couch. You put your phone face down on the coffee table. You turn on the television. You look like you are resting. But are you really resting? The truth is, your eyes keep darting toward the kitchen door. Your ears are tuned to every clink of a glass or drop of a pan. People call you paranoid. They say you do not know how to let go. They tell you to just relax and trust the process. But they do not understand that you are not relaxing. Your brain is actively running a parallel backup plan. You are sitting there asking yourself, when they mess this up, how exactly am I going to clean up the disaster? This is hypervigilance. Your body is stuck in a constant state of fight or flight. You simply do not allow your internal radar to power down because letting your guard down feels dangerous. Have you ever handed a task to someone else only to feel twice as exhausted afterward because you spent all your energy secretly monitoring them? Letting someone else do the work is not rest for you. It is just a different form of anxiety wrapped in a quiet shell. You sit still, but your mind is running a marathon of worst-case scenarios. And this constant running comes with a heavy price. At the end of the day, you complete everything perfectly. The house is clean, the emails are sent, the problems are solved. But you are completely depleted. And suddenly, you find yourself snapping at the people around you because they did not help. People look at you and think you are just moody. They think you are someone who likes to complain after choosing to do all the work yourself. But your anger is not about the dishes or the emails. Deep down, you are angry because you feel profoundly lonely. You wish, just for once, someone was observant enough and reliable enough to step in and carry the weight without you having to manage them. You are experiencing emotional burnout. You play the superhero for everyone else until you do not have the strength to lift yourself up anymore. You lie in bed, staring at the ceiling in a dark room, feeling like no one can do anything right. But beneath that frustration is a deep, quiet sadness. So, where does this overwhelming urge to snatch the tools away actually come from? Why is your default response always, "No worries, I have got it," whenever someone finally offers to help you? People might think you are fiercely independent, or that you are just cold and intentionally rejecting their kindness. But if we peel back the layers, you are not rejecting their kindness at all. You are rejecting the risk of disappointment. This behavior is often the lingering fingerprint of a past where relying on someone else was simply not safe. Maybe you grew up in an environment where the adults were unpredictable, and the only way to ensure something got done was to do it yourself. Maybe you asked for help once when you were vulnerable and you were completely ignored. Or maybe someone did step in to help, but they made the situation so much worse that you had to fix their mistakes on top of your own. Over time, your nervous system learned a very harsh but practical lesson. Depending on others brings chaos. The safest place to be is inside your own control. That is why you would rather carry a heavy box up 3 flights of stairs until your joints ache instead of calling a coworker to help you lift it. Who taught you that asking for help is a gamble where you always end up losing? Your hyper-independence is not necessarily a sign of natural strength. It is an old wound, a heavy armor that is stopping you from opening the door to let anyone else in. And this brings us to the most misunderstood part of who you are. The world looks at your actions and labels you a control freak. But in reality, you are just someone who is absolutely terrified in the middle of a mess. You do not fix everything around you because you are hungry for power or dominance. You fix everything to silence the alarm bells constantly ringing inside your own head. You take over the project. You clean the kitchen. You plan the entire trip, not to boss people around, but to soothe that deeply rooted fear that if you drop the ball, no one else is going to catch it. I want you to hear this very clearly. You are not broken. You are not a bad person for needing things to be predictable. This mechanism of doing everything yourself was a brilliant, life-saving shield that protected you in the past when you genuinely had no one else to lean on. It kept you safe when your environment was unstable. But you are not in that past anymore. Today, letting a dish break on the floor, letting an email go out with a minor typo, or letting someone take 10 extra minutes to figure out a problem will not cause your entire world to collapse. You do not have to be the superhero every single day just to earn your right to be safe and loved. Sometimes, the absolute bravest thing you can do is force your hands to stay at your sides, sit still, let the mess happen, and realize that you are still entirely safe. I am curious, are you the type of person who will immediately jump in to fix everything so it is done right? Or would you rather bite your tongue and watch someone make a mistake so they can learn? Let me know down in the comments because I know just how agonizing sitting still can be for you.